where do you see yourself in the future? When I was 8, I could have gone on to play for the England football team. And when I turned 11, I really wanted to join the army. When I turned 14, I had an opportunity to go and represent Great Britain at the Beijing Olympics. And when I turned 17, I just really wanted to be a police officer. But I didn't go on to become any of those things. Not because I lacked talent, ambition, or skill, but because of my environment. My environment always told me and showed me, play it safe, do what everybody else is doing, live in the box that you're inside, fluff up the pillows in there and make it comfortable. But that didn't sit right with me. From a young age, I always wanted more. I always wanted to explore and know what was out there. It was difficult growing up like this and feeling like I was the only one alone going through these feelings and these thoughts and being different. And if I had to sum myself up in a couple of pictures, this was me. From ages 6, 7, 8, I was inspired by jazz and blues and spirituality, and I was really connected to who I was. I was the youngest in my family, and I have a big age gap between my siblings, so I spent a lot of time alone, but I liked it because I got to know who I really was. But when I'd go outside the door, it was different. In my mind, there was an ocean breeze, there were palm trees. It looked like the perfect picture of Hawaii in my mind. And I felt like, how can a girl like me from Borsley Green have these thoughts? But when I take my bike outside, this is what I saw. This was a few pictures showing you my street, my annual holiday to the local seaside, my school, and my weekend park. And 2 years into school, in the last 2 years, my bullying came to an end, 5 days a week, over 2 years. And I was so over the moon when it was the last day, and I just took my GCSE results and left. And this was phase 1 of breaking my environment. I moved area, I joined a new college, and it was amazing. I turned 16, and it was the first time in 16 years where I interacted with my first ever white, black, mixed, Chinese, Japanese people ever in England. And that really hit me hard, and I loved it. I wanted more of this. I wanted more of this different feeling, this different life, this variety, diversity. I wanted more of it. So begrudgingly, I joined university. I felt like I had to do it out of culture and societal expectations. So I went. I got there on the first day, and I realized that I will not be here for a second day. It just wasn't for me. So I remember I walked up to my tutor and I said, I'm really sorry for taking the space of someone who really wanted this position, but that person isn't me. And with a disappointed look, she signed me off. And did I tell my parents? Hell no. That did not happen. I took 3 months in a cafe in Coventry. It was grey. It was like the cafe out of The Apprentice, that dull one. I was sitting there thinking, how am I going to tell my mum? What is she going to say? What's my backup plan? And I remember after 3 months, I went home and I said, Mum, there's not going to be you're not going to get the graduation picture with me holding the certificate. It's not happening. I've dropped out. And I held a cushion up to my face. But it was fine. She was all right. She was understanding because she had seen a decline in my behavior. I stopped eating. I wasn't interacting that much. And, I was really upset. I was doing something that wasn't right with me, that didn't sit right in my gut. So now my next move was, what am I going to do that's going to be better than education, better than getting a degree and making my parents proud? What is that move going to be? So this is where Momhead was born. Momhead is a fashion brand that I started in 2013. I started it with no fashion degree or skill qualification, nothing to do with business. I had no qualification in it at all. I started it purely out of passion. And I was having the time of my life. I was, meeting different people over the internet, connecting to so many different amazing people that were like-minded like me. And it was all going great until someone in my family said to me, "So how much are you making?" Amna, how much are you making? And I replied with, I've made this friend in Bolivia and she's like really cool. And then I realized how stupid I sound. And I'd let myself down so badly. I set out with a task to build a brand, to build a business, and I was far from that. And then the lights went out and my 2 years of depression begun. And I spiraled downwards, until I stopped and I said, no more. So I started applying myself. I applied myself so well that I read every book, I attended seminars, I watched YouTube videos, everything was free around me, and I thought, why have I not used this before? So I read everything, I found out what SEO meant, what digital marketing meant, how to engage with customers, and I built myself. And this led me to kickstart my second company, which was Girl Dreamer, that I've co-launched with my best friend. And Girl Dreamer is that platform that's there for young girls that didn't have anything in school for them, just like I didn't. And I've worked throughout the years with different girl dreamers, getting them from their current state into their desired state. And now we do things like setting up the UK's first all-female Black and Asian boarders crew, which is like longboarding for girls around Birmingham. You may see some of us in Cannon Hill Park. We set up safe spaces for girls in the community where they come and kick it with other girls, where there's non-alcoholic drinks. We listen to music, watch movies, play pool, do all the things that girls also want to do, but there's not a space for. After applying myself in such a manner, doors started opening for me because I started going to open the doors. And successes started coming. I was featured in Vogue, British Vogue. I was selling on ASOS, and I woke up to tweets by the amazing YouTuber Lily Singh, known as Superwoman. And that's when my website crashed and people thought I became a millionaire, which I didn't. Not yet. But it was amazing, and I felt like now that I've really applied myself, I've actually done something, I've gotten results, and people were tapping me on the back saying, well done. People are wearing your clothes all over the world now. You're empowering girls locally, and you're rippling outwards. So throughout my adventurous journey, I've learned so many things. I've learned how you live in your mind and how to bring that out into your reality by applying yourself. Just because you're not in your ideal environment does not change your potential. Create the environment you want to see. Don't wait for me and don't wait for somebody else to come along and do it for you. Do it yourself. Ask yourself what your potential is. So I ask you again, where do you see yourself in the future? Thank you.